Hey guys, it is the dude who talks and welcome. So for today I'm going to be talking about the upcoming release from Maud The Moth called Orphne, which is out on the 25th of June through Musica Maxica, Norax Producciones and La Rubia Producciones. So just who is Maud The Moth, you might ask? Well, it is a solo project that started in 2010 by Madrid-born musician Amaya Lopez Caramero. Hope I got that right. And obviously serves as an alter ego for herself. Amaya has spent a lot of her childhood studying classical music and recorded a lot of music from a very young age. So Orphne is the third album from Maud The Moth, which follows on from The Inner Wastelands, which was released in 2015. A little bit about the album. Orphne relates to Greek mythology with regards to the mythical nymph that dwelled in the underworld called Orphne. There is the name Orphne shares a root with the word orphan, which means fatherless, and the album itself draws a connection between these two terms, and this is what's described in the album. Orphne reflects on the rootlessness and nebulous identity of the immigra, fragmented woman. Traditional family roles and familial support are seen as a light that is absent or has been exhausted, fostering a sense of desolation and alienation from society. So, who is on the album? Well, Amaya handles vocal duty, piano, synths, percussion, plus a whole lot more. Drums are handled by Paul Gonzalez. Guitar duties are handled by Guilherme Martin, or also known as Bashashkef. I definitely got that wrong. Violins are handled by Alicia Garcia, and there's also cello as well from Ivan Karames. Hope I got those pronunciations right. I feel like I'm saying that every week now. So what did I think of Orphne? Did I love it, or did I think the album Orphne deserved to dwell in the underworld forever, never to be listened again? Let's find out. Things start off with opening track Ecdysis, and before I listened to this, I had expectations in my head of what Orphne would sound like. And for me, I thought it was going to sound something like very dark, guitar bass, and a bit lo-fi sounding. Now, I was right about the dark sounding because it is quite a dark album. However, Ecdysis opens up with this very piano-driven number and has this very slight jazz feel, and I was thinking to myself, this kind of has a little bit of a Joanna Newsom vibe. Though, while the piano is the main focus for the song, what really struck me was Amaya's vocals, and it definitely showcases her classically trained background. Though I did feel that Ecdysis is slightly upbeat, the following song, The Mirador, has this very eerie feel to it, with the use of broken sounding keys, and also the subtle use of reversal loops. And also there's a little subtle use of guitar as well. Now I'm going to be saying subtle throughout, so bear with me please. I definitely felt that this is very minimal sounding, and also it kind of feels very melancholic as well, especially with the vocals from Amaya. Sounding beautiful yet very melancholic. Use of reversal is further explored on the segue track The Stairwell, which is used throughout the song, and definitely carries on with the haunting vibe of the album. What I also want to mention is that I'm noticing towards the end of some of the songs on this album that there is a subtle change that leads off into the next track, especially at the end of The Stairwell. So following on from that, the next song is called The Abattoir, which sees the use of the violin and the cello. While this definitely has a classical feel to it, there are moments where synths are used. Now these are quite very subtle and sometimes get picked on after a number of listens, so you might not hear them straight away. Also, I want to notice that the kind of drum pattern used, it's this really thunderous, loud marching drum beat towards the end of the song. So I did enjoy that. Track Finisterre has further use of the reversal loop, and I'm starting to sense a little bit of a theme with that kind of technique, but it does really work well. I also want to note the chanting style vocals, which kind of have that ritual feel, especially with how echoey they sound, and on this song the violin definitely plays a bigger part, furthering that, melancholic vibe. Now, from listening to this album multiple times, I feel that Maud The Moth is a project that definitely excels in crafting that really dark atmosphere. And I'm going to die a little inside for saying this, but I feel like this is something that the kids would say. This album is a giant mood. Well, I do need to appeal to a younger audience anyway. So yeah. So the next song, As Above So Below, has a much more guitar feel, but rather than using actual riffs, it's more like effects driven, which is meant to build up an atmosphere. And the vocals definitely do take much more of a charge on this. I felt that As Above So Below was more of an extended segue with its short length. However, it is longer than the Stairwell. And for that, it kind of stands out a bit more, for better for worse, and has a much more leaning towards post-rock sound. So we're up to the penultimate song, which is called Momo and the Well. And this kind of has a little bit of a soulful take with this song, and also has a little bit of jazz in the mix with the piano. And the kind of Joanna Newsom vibes kept creeping back up, especially with the album, I think I want to say YS. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Anyway, this song definitely has much more of abstract arrangements. And from that, I felt that this song was one of my favourites on the album and definitely stood out for me. So now we're on to the last song, which is called Epoxy Bonds. And this starts off with, I want to say the cello, though I could be mistaken and it could be the violin. And what this song actually struck me was having this soundtrack vibe. Now if I put on a low-key independent film, something that's been produced by A24 Films or something along that line, I can definitely feel that this will fit in really well. There's a little bit of a drum build-up near the end of the song that leads off into this louder vocal style from Amaya. And I like how that was done in a kind of quieter, subtle way, which I know might not make sense, but just, listen to it. Though, there was one thing, and the end of the song, it just kind of ends on a whimper. And I feel like it was still building up to something, and I was expecting a big payoff towards the end, something kind of epic sounding, but it just ends. My overall impression was that Orphne was a very beautiful yet melancholic album, and there's a lot of subtle moments throughout that got me hooked. Definitely has that dark atmosphere, especially if you just want to listen to music in the dark, you just want that mood. I feel it's very cathartic in that way. Now, when I was listening to it, I wanted to try and think what it kind of sounded like. Initially I thought it was going to be something similar to Chelsea Wolfe or Emma Ruth Rundle, but when I was actually listening to it, I felt it had more in comparison to artists like Bjork or Joanna Newsom or PJ Harvey as well. However, while it does have similarities, I feel like those are just nods, and it kind of Orphne just kind of stands by itself as something that is quite unique in my opinion. And however, I do feel if you're wanting something a bit more guitar based, you're not going to find it here, but I urge you to give it a shot at least, especially if you having a bit of metal fatigue. I think this might be something for you. So that was me talking about Orphne by Maud The Moth. Are you thinking of picking this album up? Please let me know if you are down below in the comments section. Like always, if you've enjoyed this 8-minute ramble, please share and subscribe. It really helps out. Hopefully I'm going to be doing another video this weekend, which will be my birthday, so you might want to stick around that and tell me happy birthday, or fuck off, you're annoying. Happy with either. So yeah, all I've got left to say to you guys is, I've been the dude who talks. You guys are always fucking awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.